you back online? Twitch stream? So, yeah, you were going to be tugged forward. Thrasher, I'm going to ask you to roll as well.
You said athletics?
Yeah. With
Hey!
Okay. So what happens is Thrasher is like floating and stealthing.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, Rosie.
Oh, you got a boo-boo? That's okay. They don't need to see that. That's okay. Okay, yeah.
Hitting yourself in the face with the sword?
No, this is her knee.
Oh, okay.
It has an ugly scab on it right now. Yeah, you got a boo-boo. Yeah, these guys are trying to avoid getting a boo-boo right now.
I burned myself earlier today.
Okay, so Vapos
That's
crashes
nasty.
into Thrasher.
There are all kinds of sunny days.
How deep is the channel, Max?
It is 10 feet deep, and there's this pillar of whirling blades at the other end.
Right. So Thrasher and
Vapos
Typho
crashes
both...
into Thrasher. So Thrasher, you can either be pushed forward by Vapos, or you can both be squeezing there.
So Lindsay had put in chat a little while ago. She has shape water. Thrasher also has shape water.
Okay.
So I was thinking maybe the two of us just like stop the column of water that is like in front of the whirling blades, and like by pushing it back or like right by the grate, we like push the water in the other direction, and maybe
Casting
the channel
a
just
spell will unavoidably break stealth
yeah.
if it has a verbal component.
I mean, if he bumps into me, I'm assuming I stealth broke anyway.
Not necessarily. I wasn't sure if Vapos was trying to be stealthy. But once Vapos
He
is...
kind of was, but basically Vapos's primary thing was that he was trying to get as deep as he could.
Okay.
Down to the floor of the channel.
Okay.
And he wants to use one of his special powers. He wants to use Water Whip to try to pull the creature into the water with us, so that it can't raise an alarm.
That's good.
Okay. So he swam down and was pulled, which means he's under Thrasher.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Rosie's gonna mess with the volume of my microphone now, so wave if something happens.
That's a robot.
The microphone is a robot. That's right. Don't turn the dial, honey. Don't mute it. Okay. No. You want to watch Peep? You want a piece of apple? You want some apple? She's just DMing while being a parent. Okay. Okay. Vapos started doing his thing first, so we'll resolve that first. So you guys are kind of swirling around, swimming around in the channel there. Vapos, you are under Thrasher at this point. Do you still want to use Water Whip?
I do, yes.
Okay. Alright.
So that's going to be a dexterity saving throw on its part. DC is 14.
Ow, 2 key points. Okay, very cool. The severed head with wings gets a 14.
That's just enough. So it doesn't get pulled towards me, but it is going to take half of 3d10 bludgeoning damage.
Wow, very nice.
It doesn't say half. It says on a failed save they take 3d10 damage.
On a successful save.
Yeah, so that's going to be 6
right.
damage.
Failed is the other way around. Never mind.
So half of 13 is 6.
Yep.
Okay, it takes 6 damage. No.
She can come back in here if you want. I just needed to hand her off for a few minutes.
Rosie, I don't want you to press my microphone. The robot does not like to have its buttons pushed. So.
That's very true of most robots.
Yeah, definitely. Do you want to draw with your crayons? Or have a piece of apple? You want some of Rosie's apple? Okay. I think at this point we are going to have to roll initiative. Because I'm.
Sure.
Or wait, Frasher wanted to do something too. Frasher. You can
Yeah.
do something.
So we'll say so. Typha/Lindsay had a really good idea, but I think she. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lindsay, but Typha should yell it to Frasher or
She
something.
doesn't know what's going on in there.
Because I don't think Frasher's this clever.
Okay.
All right.
So.
That's fine.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you
You're
think
still
Frasher's
in-
clever?
You're
Why
still
don't
in
you
stealth.
jump out of the water?
Well, so the idea was we could freeze the water in the square with the whirling blades of death.
Okay, Matt. Here's my thought. I think since Frasher took that spell, he would understand that this is a situation in which it would be useful.
He cast the spell. I just don't know if he's clever enough to think of freezing it.
Hasn't he seen Typha do that? She froze water during the fight with the Drider.
That's true.
Yeah, Typhus used it before. I think it's safe to say that Frasher would know to do that.
He wasn't.
Okay.
He didn't think of searching for traps before turning the crank. So you've already punished yourself enough.
I mean, it's who he is. Yeah. So he'll try to cast Shape Water. It just has an S component, so he doesn't even need his packed weapon for that. Cool.
So Frasher reaches out and freezes this block of water right here.
Yeah. Is it
That
like
is
a
super cool.
5-foot area that thing occupies? Is that like, if I do a 5-foot cube, am I going to reasonably catch the whole thing at least? For
Yeah.
you know, the
do
lower
you want
part.
To, do you want to try to maintain stealth while doing that?
Would it just be another roll?
Yeah, probably with disadvantage in this instance.
Well, we have +10 from Pass Without Trace, so yeah, I'll try to maintain it.
Okay.
So 22.
Okay. Okay. So Frasher still looks like a piece of trash, but I think the thing is going to see Vapos, as Vapos' attack just launched at it.
Like the water attacked it, so it's alert.
Yeah, I literally created a whip out of the water to try to pull it in.
However, the ice block, I can't see any reason why that wouldn't work. So it freezes the water around the whirling blades, and it goes. But there is this hydraulic power behind it. So the ice freezes, and then cracks start running through the ice. So it's
Yeah,
like
that makes
pushing
sense.
against it. It's like pushing against it, but it's basically going to make a strength check every round against the ice block.
Awesome.
What's your spell DC?
14, I think.
Very cool. So it
It's
will
15. Sorry.
it will be making a strength check against that. Never mind.
Cool.
All right. At this point, as the attack fails, the thing lets out a horrible shriek. Now, you guys are underwater. Do you Or Frasher, are you underwater as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Breathing easily. So you guys, while underwater, you'll have advantage on this saving throw against its shriek. So we're gonna resolve that just for the two of you right now. Actually, probably wouldn't be fair to not roll initiative first. All right, we'll roll initiative first. Okay, everybody, roll initiative.
Do we not have to pick our? Oh, we still have to pick our guys, right?
Yeah, select your
Oh,
dude.
crap.
That was garbage.
Dang it! I was so happy with my 18.
That water whip would have been amazing if it had worked. That was damn.
People going
Yeah,
first
I
or
would
the
have liked
people in
that
the other
too.
room? The people going first or the people in the other room?
Well, you know.
You heard it. You heard it shriek, so you know that something's up.
Also, what's the depth of the water? Like, I'm assuming we can swim down and around people who are ahead of us in walking order. Is that?
I think you said it's well. The channel is 10 feet. I don't know about our where we are.
Where you are is actually deeper. Okay.
So we can stack if we need to. It shouldn't be that bad.
All right. Has everybody rolled?
Think so?
Did you roll a nat 20, Max?
It lets out a blood-curdling shriek.
Should we roll for Breath and Mavra as well?
Yeah. Well, Bref can't see anything, so he's really not gonna try to contribute. Right now, and Mavra is struggling to swim in the water. It's not her natural dwarven habitat. So I'm gonna rule that they're kind of non-factors at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. The horrible shriek rings out. Everybody make a wisdom saving throw. If you are underwater, which I think all of you are, you'll get advantage.
Nice.
Kiri is very wise.
I'm really glad we get advantage.
Yeah, Kiri's fine.
I am not very wise.
So you guys just saw Vapos and Frasher go into the pyramid, and then immediately there's this horrible shriek that comes out of the pyramid. Bella and Draco are stunned.
Oof.
Whoa.
Even with the 15?
What? Oh, you have
Even with the-
advantage. That's right. You have advantage. With a 15, you succeed. So we're not stunned. Just Bella. Bella,
Yay!
it offends your auditory sensibilities so much, you just shattered inside for the moment.
It's the opposite of music somehow.
It's Nickelback.
That's right.
God damn it, Nickelback.
Okay, after releasing that awful shriek, the thing flaps its wings and shoots up higher in the air. The ceiling is pretty high in this room, about 15 feet up, so it is about 20 feet above you guys. And still inside. 20 times 4. All right. Sorry if this is a little visually confusing. I'm going to take away the shadow. You know what? That's going to make my life easier. Okay.
Sorry, quick question, Max.
Akiri's turn. Yes?
So this ground here, how high up is that from the channel?
Oh my god. So we don't draw with crayon on Abba's phone.
Oh no.
I don't know if you can see that, but fortunately I have a protector. I like that you managed to mute it while you were doing that. Okay, I'll deal with that later. Might be time for Imada to come take the baby. But what was the question? Sorry?
Sorry, so I'm trying to understand. So this ground that's near the channel, how far above the channel is that?
About 4 feet up.
Okay, so even if we step up here, the monster is still about 15 feet above us. Correct. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, it might be a little bit challenging to climb up out of it.
Oh, you are stinky.
Oh. Alright. Thanks, Kate. It is Akiri's turn. And then Taifa's on deck.
Alright, so Kiri's gonna go zip, zap, zop. And if she looks up, can she see that thing, I guess?
Does she have dark vision?
No.
She sees nothing but a horrible, oppressive darkness.
Delightful.
And
I
some
thought its
glowing
eyes.
eyes. Yeah.
I thought its eyes and teeth glow.
That's true. You can see it's the 3 glowing spots of its 2 eyes and mouth. So you know where it is.
Cool. Would you say that's enough that I could shove a sacred flame down its throat?
Alright.
It's gonna make a DC 16 dex save.
Which it will fail.
Heck yeah, he takes 6 radiant damage. Guys, we're fighting this thing, right? We're fighting this thing, okay.
I'm assuming so.
I mean, it's Thrasher versus the garbage disposal at the other end.
The severed
That's-
head goes... Exactly, Thrasher, exactly. Okay. If that's Akiri's turn, then Taifa.
Okay, I'm gonna need your help with some of the movement rules here. But the first thing I'm gonna do, after hearing this terrible shrieking sound, is she's going to turn into a giant toad. Which is gonna give her a swim speed of 40.
Alright.
Not sure if you have a fun token for this or not.
Sure I do. But while I'm grabbing that, what else does she do?
She is going to move 10 feet here. It does have dark vision, okay. So, seeing this creature, she is going to use her standing leap, which enables her to jump 10 feet, to jump to the ground here.
Okay.
And then I think she still has some movement. Because if she has a swim speed of 40, so she moved 10, she moved another 10. I'm assuming I still have another 10 feet of movement.
Sounds like it. Wait, how did she get out of the water?
She used standing leap.
Out of the water?
Yeah, that's an awkward rules question.
That is an awkward rules question.
She cannot leap. She has nothing to jump on. And
Shit.
also, she wasn't standing, so I don't know if the name has anything to do with it. Long jump is 20 feet, and its high jump is up to 10 feet, with or without a running start. Yeah, I can't really leap out of the water. It's not like dolphin. But
You should have became a dolphin.
Okay. I've never seen a dolphin. Okay. There's not many dolphins in the swamp.
You can still climb out. You can still make a roll to climb out.
Would that use my action?
No, it would be a move.
Okay, so 10 feet to here. She will attempt to climb out.
Okay.
Can a large giant toad fit in there?
Where?
Well,
it's
Akiri
large?
is she still in the water?
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Okay.
No, a
giant
large
toad are we
toad cannot fit in there.
She's a large creature. She's quite big, actually.
It will
You're a
Shit,
toad.
actually, can
It's
she
gonna
even
get
make it through the
stuck.
grate?
It's gonna get stuck in the channel is what happens.
Yeah, you're a toad the size of a horse.
So you're all trying to swim in, and then Typha gets stuck, wedged. Like,
Well, at least the water level might go down.
like, that's how big this toad is, okay?
Maybe I should have rethought this plan.
And you just get wedged into the channel.
Rabbit.
Shit. Does it
So
get me
you've
any
used
closer?
your move action and your bonus action. You have some move left.
You can still save this. Just eat the thing like it's a fly. Do
Oh,
it.
right. That'll also shove Vapos and Frasher closer to the ice. But you
And I
don't
guess
have to worry about swimming against the current because there is no current anymore, really.
What about Akiri? Is she just
You
squished?
have wedged yourself into the
There's a lot of like weird buoyancy and fluid dynamics questions that
Oh my god. Okay, hang on.
like
Okay,
she
wait.
was small and she got real big. Is there a shockwave?
Nacho. Wait, hang on, guys. Nacho Pants. Subscribed. I don't know how long it takes to make a baby, but I've loved this man for a long time. Weird, but thank you. Nacho Pants, you are awesome. Gave out 10 tier 1 community sub gifts. Nacho Pants, holy crap.
Wow.
Holy crap.
That sounds great. I have no idea what it means though.
Nacho Pants just gifted 10 tier 1 subs to people, followers of Super Commoner. Nacho Pants, thank you so much. Wow. I mean, did this 10 minutes ago. I was focused on the toad wedging, but thank you. Thank you, Nacho Pants, for supporting the channel. Very welcome. Well, very big thank you. It was a real boost to continuing to do this. Thank you so much. That's a huge boon to the channel. I think we're going to have to put in the or however, someone bless someone all. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess Zhurk bless you all. And thank you, Nacho Pants. This show now brought to you partially, in large part by Nacho Pants. All right, thank you. Where were we? Yes, Typha the Third, our kobold druid, just wedged herself as a giant toad in there, using her bonus action. What do you want to do now? You
I
saw
guess
the
it
standard.
depends on how close I am to this thing.
You're 20 feet down from it.
Okay. So you're saying I can attempt to scramble up?
Yeah. Make an athletics check to squeeze. This is going to be a standard action. To squeeze, to pull yourself like a pork out of the... Does anyone do that sound effect? You know, with the cork sound? With your finger in your mouth? I can't do it. Ooh, that's a pretty good roll. Is that with what's the toad's bonus? What's the toad's bonus to athletics?
+2 to that.
Okay.
So that's 19.
Wow. The giant toad, with a sound like a popping cork, shoves itself out of the water using a standard action and is now half in, half out of the channel, looking up. You're 10 feet tall, close to 10 feet tall as a toad. And so this thing is only 5 feet above you at this point. However, the water, as the rest of you have been shoved out of the way by the toad, which now grows to its full size now that it's out of its squeezing area, the rest of you are now hit by the powerful current rushing in. So on your turns, please remember Akiri, Frasher, and Vapos. I'm going to ask that you remember that you're going to have to make another athletics check against a higher DC, as now there's now a wave of the current coming to smack you. I think that is the end of Typhus' turn.
I have to ask. In all of that, what was happening to Akiri? Because as far as I can tell, she just got pancaked into the side of the channel.
She got pancaked into the side of the channel. You know, if you've ever been on a plane with somebody who, you know, had a few too many lunches, you know, just she just squished. She just got squished.
And this is the story of how Akiri died.
Pancake by a giant toad.
So she really couldn't do anything about it, but then the pressure was released, and then she was hit by the current. Amazing. Okay. That was an amazing turn for Typha. Which also included all of the sub-gifts by Nacho Pants. I haven't forgotten, or never will. Vapos, it is your turn, and Bella is on deck. Hopefully she's back from dealing with the baby situation.
I'm back, but as far as I know, I'm stunned, so I don't know how useful I'm going to be.
All right, so I got a 19 for my athletics to resist that current.
Very nice, and you do get advantage.
Cool.
So this the water just smacks you, but you actually stay off of the ice block, so you're not pressed up against it.
Cool. Yeah, so I would actually like to use the use the kind of wave of water as it's coming up over that ice block. I want to try to use it to give myself a bit more momentum to try to get out of the water.
Huh, I like that. All right, make an athletics check.
Okay.
To get out of the water.
That's 16 if I've still got advantage. 11
This isn't
otherwise.
a swim athletics. This is a climb athletics.
Okay.
But 11
then
is good enough.
11. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm going to get out of the water, and then I am going to activate Step of the Wind to double my jumping distance.
Very cool.
And I'm going to run the 2 spaces to get over, or to get up next to this wall. Then I'm going to do a high jump to try to get up to the wall, and then kick off the wall again to try to get high enough so that I can reach the or to get high enough so that I can reach the bat thing, so that I can take a couple of strikes before I fall back down.
All right. Go for it and get your style points.
Cool. So that's 8 to hit for the first attack, and an 8 for the second.
Probably not what you were hoping for.
Not exactly, but that's all right. The point is I looked cool doing it.
You sure as hell did. We haven't really... Yeah, we have to, Okay. You look cool as all hell. However, unfortunately, it does not work. You slip on the jump a little bit, and your attack whiffs. The floating, flapping, severed head lets out another little shriek and flaps out of the way. Okay, Vapos, are you in the correct square? Have you landed in the correct square?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Bella, you're stunned, right?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. Well, after your turn, it only lasts one turn, so the stun condition ends. You shake it off.
But I take no actions.
I'm sorry. You were frightened. And you were so frightened that it stunned you. You were frightened by the shriek. Okay, say again. Yeah, you lost your turn due to stun. But you start shaking it off. Frasher.
I have to make an athletics check of some kind, I think. Because of the water.
You need to make a check because of the water, yes.
Okay, I think I did all right.
You certainly did.
How's my ice block looking?
You kick off of it. Well, it's at initiative 0. I'm going to make a strength check for
Okay, so you haven't done it yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am gonna... Or Frasher is going to make a second ice block. The 5 feet above the other one.
Oh, because he did it down at the base?
Yeah, so he did the bottom 5 feet, now he's doing the top 5 feet. He can have
the
two of these going at
right,
once.
okay, so the blades are still visible, in other words. Because it's a pillar. It's like a column.
Yeah, I figured it went the whole way. Did it not go the whole 10 feet?
It does.
Okay, so yeah.
So
he can only do 5 feet at a time.
Right. Gotcha. Okay, so now it's covered in ice.
Yeah, the whole thing is ice now.
Okay, so at least getting blown onto it, or washed onto it, won't immediately cut you a little bit.
Yep. And then he's going to try to climb out on the far side of the channel. He has a swim speed, so that's not really an issue. But what do I roll for climbing out?
Athletics.
Hey, that was good too.
Scramble up out of there, no problem at all.
Does he see anything of interest down this hallway while he's climbing out?
I have revealed some areas due to people climbing out with dark vision.
Okay. Remember he's got extra long-range dark vision too, so.
Right, but it's hitting a wall in that direction.
Okay, that's fine. I think that's it for him.
Let's change the GM view so that people can see what the players are seeing a little bit. Actually, let's see what Frasher sees. We should be able to do this. No, that doesn't work. Is it?
I'm thinking he would have been briefly like looking straight down that hallway as he was like climbing out.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. There we go. I'm gonna make it a little bit more opaque to myself. There we go. Now we can tell what the players can see, which is basically restricted by these doorways. All right, Frasher, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I think so. He doesn't have anything he can do with a bonus action right now.
Draco.
Alright, Draco is going to... Well, can I go into the room? Because there's a big frog in the way.
No, she's climbed out of the water now.
Okay.
So you can climb into the room. You can go into the room.
Okay, 5, 10. Well, here's the deal. Since I don't know how swim speed works when you aren't a swimmer.
It
do you mean?
costs double.
Yeah, it's you just have half your movement.
Okay. 10, 20, 30. Okay.
All right, you feel the pull of the current there.
Okie doke. Can I see the glowy eyes and teeth of this thing?
If you look up through the water, yeah, you can kind of make it out. I mean, you kind of tell the general area where it is.
Okay. That's good enough for me. Draco will under the water, and so it sounds a little weird when he's going, but he will twirl his staff under the water, say some magic words, and point at the creature. And I need it to make a Constitution saving throw, and my spell save DC is 15.
It fails. I don't know
Awesome.
what
Let me
spell you're casting.
roll those dice. That's 8 cold damage, and it has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Very cool.
So, like, ice starts to form on its wings and its face.
It lets out a yeah! The severed head does. And now we make a strength check for the hydraulic system versus 2 ice blocks.
Yep.
Your spell DC is
15.
15.
Just barely.
Well, if we say it's +2 because it's 2
Oh
ice
yeah,
blocks,
well then
then it's actually 17.
Oh, +2 to my spell save. That's even better. Great. I thought you were saying it had +2 strength or
Now
something.
there's more ice there now, but it has +4 to strength, so that's
Dope.
18. It and the blades
break
go
both of them?
Yep.
Shit.
It breaks through the ice blocks.
Well, like, Thrasher tried, guys. Good luck.
And the shattered ice is blended and flows down through the narrow mesh grating.
Thrasher made a nice blended drink for whoever's down there.
Draco, remember on your next turn, you're going to have to make a check against the current.
Right.
And now the creature will shriek again. Those of you who are not underwater will have disadvantage. I mean, not advantage. Oh, wait. Those of you who are underwater have advantage.
Save,
Hang on,
right?
I might have some negatives to that. No, okay, that's an even 22.
Draco's good.
Thrasher's gonna burn Tides of Chaos so that he has advantage on this.
Oh, cool.
I think I finally saved out of it.
Very nice.
Oh, that was a waste of...
Okay. So Bella's coming out of her fear that stunned her. And the horrible shriek doesn't look like it's going to affect anybody else. So none of you are frightened by the shriek. And the thing flaps over here. Little tendrils dangling from the severed neck. Akira, your turn. I guess Draco is underneath you?
I guess.
Maybe. Who knows? Alright, she's gonna... Well, okay, so wait. No, I had to make a save
Yep.
to not get slammed by water, right?
Yep. Strength, athletics.
Okay. Fuck. That's okay. Makes sense.
You are dragged by the current over here. Just one space away, the whirling blender blades whip the water into a froth.
Cool. She's gonna hop out of the water.
All right, make an athletics check to climb out.
Did you like use her wings to help her
To help her
get out of the water
swim
to like kind of?
underwater.
You
Yeah,
mean her,
just like kind
her
of.
waterlogged wings.
Her water.
Didn't you
It's-
know
it's-
it's our penguin?
Yeah, wet bird probably can't fly.
Try to help.
They don't help.
Y'all aren't helping my case here.
I'm sorry.
If anyone knew whether or not that would help at all, it would be you, and you're giving us nothing.
I personally think it should help because like at least a little extra lift.
We'll have to
Maybe
just do
in
the experiment,
air,
I guess.
But not in this situation.
Put the game on hold. Go get a bird. Fill the bathtub.
Like they're covered in like oil and like dust and stuff, so it makes them like slightly less. So it makes them pretty waterproof. So like, I just really don't want to roll athletics again. And that's the thing.
I understand that.
Okay. 15.
You succeed.
Oh, thank goodness.
You climb out of the water. At the last second, inches from the swirling blades.
So you're just like, nope, bad idea. All right, and then do I have an action left, or did that take up
That's going to take
too
your
much?
action.
Okay, she's gonna sit on the edge, panting.
Okay.
Which side are you on?
The far side from you.
Yeah.
The side that's not full of toad.
Tie for the third.
Yes.
Oh, that's unfortunate because I really, really want. Okay. God, I'm too goddamn big.
It's not normally a problem for Typha, but
Okay, Max. So you might help me out here. So what I really want to be able to do is use my 20 feet of jump to like get somewhere over here near it.
jump
Jump over
over the whirling blades of death.
Over the whirling blades of doom.
You want to jump over the whirling blades of doom. Okay.
And not squish
unfortunately,
Vapos,
you will. This Vapos is in that area, right? Or are you trying to enter?
So is
this
the monster.
area?
Just jump straight at the monster. Crush it into the wall.
Is that something I
That's
can do?
true. He is up in the air.
You would attack and provoke an attack of opportunity from it.
That's okay. I got HP for days, don't I? Hang on. yeah, let's
yeah,
go
you're
with
using
that.
the frog's HP right now, so.
Yeah, so she's gonna take
Okay.
a flying leap at it. The wide open mouth. What would you
I mean,
like? for
if
that?
a horse jumped 20 feet at you, it would hurt.
Would you like an attack roll?
Does a
have a
12?
bite
Does a
attack.
12 hit the toad?
Yes, I would be doing, I think, a bite attack. So 1 sec.
Okay. Do you have to make a roll for the jump, or is it automatic?
Well, I
It's
have a standing leap, so I have a jump range of 20 feet.
Right. I can't remember the jump
So I think
rules
that
in this edition.
right over it.
Do you roll for jump in this edition, or is it just automatic?
No,
No.
there's no inherent roll for jump, but if something is making it more difficult, then that's when athletics gets
Okay.
involved.
So
But I
you
think
are
it does
landing.
come out of your movement, though.
You are
I
landing
think.
in an awkward spot, so you do have to roll for athletics.
Okay, that's fair.
with the
So I
toad
got an
stats.
attack roll of a 23 on my bite.
Okay.
And let me
The
roll
toad bite?
athletics. A toad bite.
What's the toad AC?
That's a good athletics roll, 20. I'm sorry, what did you
Toad
say?
AC
What's
is
my
11.
Yeah,
She put the
11.
stat
Oh,
block, but it's way up above.
It's a freaking huge toad. It's not that hard to hit.
It's not like a toad is particularly
So
resilient.
what happens is, what was your athletics check? 20? Okay, so you make the
20.
jump. Bam! You manage to keep your big toad foot out of the water so it doesn't get blendered. However, you and the Vargui bite each other. And its glowing green mouth punctures you. You are gonna kill it. I'm pretty sure. Roll damage.
Okay, hang on. That's a 1d10 plus 2 plus. Okay. Sorry, 1 sec.
I hate druids.
I also need to roll poison damage. 1 moment, please.
Oh, okay.
And then it's also grappled by me. So that's 14 points of damage, and it's grappled.
You can grapple its dead body. It's dead. And you, your toad form takes poison. So in its dying death throes, it bites you back, and you guys bite each other and poison each other. So you're gonna take 5 regular damage, followed by 7 poison damage.
Okay.
And it has perished. We are going to continue in rounds just for the moment because, well, the rest of you can probably help the other people swim in and pull them out of the water. So they probably wouldn't need to make
Thrasher can do that freeze thing every turn, so...
There you go. So now that we're out of combat, it's pretty... It's not trivial, but it's just a little bit of carefulness will get you guys away from that trap.
Also, Draco is tired of this dark nonsense, so as soon as he's out of the water, he's casting light.
Okay. All right. You have all made it into the Ushzak pyramid.
Vapos is also going to use his elemental attunement to collect the water that's in people's clothes and stuff to clear it all out, so we're not all soaking wet.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. Feels a lot better.
Very cool.
Now then, the time for disguises. Or should we wait?
I think we should close the grate first. It's preferably someone who's stronger than
You close the grate behind you. Interesting. The whirling blades lower down into their slot in the floor. Shunk.
Now we can't escape.
No, but at least there's no more whirling death. Which may or may not be a good thing. We'll see.
Also, if somebody comes by and finds the grate open, they might close it anyway and set off an alarm.
As you catch your breath after combat and everything else, you are able to... there are a couple of quiet moments. You can now take in your surroundings a little bit better. You hear water all around you, echoing through the hollow tunnels and aqueducts. The floor, now that you're able to notice it, is marble. A marble with a watery pattern that constantly shifts underfoot, giving you a sense of dizziness if you stare at it for too long. So any acrobatics checks related to balance are going to be at a disadvantage in here. It looks like you're standing on water. There is a particular goddess who is strong here, and at this time of year. And the cleric among you can sense her wild, chaotic energy flowing through this place. Yes, Nico.
I was just going to say that I would not have even been concerned about balance-related athletics checks, but now that you've said that, I am very concerned about it.
Noted. Thrasher, with your 120-foot dark vision, and combined with, I guess, for most of you, the light now emanating from Draco's
Staff.
You can now see farther on the right-hand area. I assume the light is like a torch, right? It's the spell light one, two. How many squares, Thrasher? 120 feet is...
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55.
24
It's
squares.
gonna be all the way to the opposite wall. That's where Thrasher can see easily. The light won't necessarily help, but there it is.
No, I think it basically is like he sees in color for the first 60 feet, and then
Pretty much.
dark vision beyond that.
I mean, the game doesn't try to simulate, like, ruining your night vision too much. But sometimes I might decide that it applies.
And, yeah, and this is magic, weird, extra good vision, so...
Okay,
I don't
fair
know.
enough. You can also see on the north side a little bit farther down that left-hand path. The right-hand path on the north is stairs, so your view is cut off.
Sure.
Now I have a question.
There's a boat.
Can this giant toad actually squeeze into these tiny corridors?
The toad?
Yeah.
Yeah, your speed will be halved while squeezing, and you'll have disadvantage on everything.
Typha, I believe it might make more sense if you transformed into a smaller creature so we can hide you.
She turns back into a kobold and reevaluates her options.
Okay.
I don't know. Did we want to put on our disguises now, or do we want to find a different? I don't know. We are kind of we're in a moment. We are in a moment of respite. It might be best if we at least put on the disguises.
How many disguises were there again?
We were not given a specific number, so I assumed enough for everyone.
Enough for everyone.
Especially since basically Typha we had discussed earlier about Typha just turning into something small, so we could find her. And I was going to shapeshift Akiri into a human so that she could wear the disguises and not be seen. And then I guess Thrasher, we're just gonna hope we can hide his tail really good.
So, go ahead.
I just want to finish the description a little bit.
Sorry.
So I described the floor as this weird marble. And the walls are also this ancient kind of stone. And here and there you can see worked into them these odd, old-looking runes. Set into the wall are these coffins. Some of them are ceramic. Some are stone. And they all have these intricate designs, like sarcophagi, carved into them. Also in this room are 2 urns, one of which has been shattered, and a number of coins lie below it, among its shards. You can see through 3 corridors out of this room, which I have now revealed to you. Even if you don't have the dark vision to see down them for that far, Thrasher could describe it to you, in theory. Okay, I have now finished. Please continue.
All right. So that Typha can reserve her energy, is it possible to store her? I'm saying this in character. Is it possible to just store her in one of our packs so that she can be hidden, but also be ready to go if we ever are in danger?
Thrasher sometimes carried me in a poos.
Yeah, she is very small.
That's some crayon you got on your phone there. Draco says, okay, so again, I asked the question, are we ready for disguises, or do we want to press in further and press our luck a little bit more? We might not run into any more people for a while, but I don't really see any reason why we shouldn't be disguised right now.
Yeah, I think we should put disguises on as soon as we can, just in case.
That thing was very loud.
Exactly.
Yes.
True story.
Okay. Draco is going to go ahead and pass the disguises to everyone except Taifa. And then he is going to walk over to Akiri. And so here's the way that polymorph works. It lets me transform one person into something else. I guess that's the thing. I think it has to be a beast. So I don't know if I can make her into a person. Let me see.
I mean, Akiri doesn't mind if you turn her into something that isn't humanoid.
Yeah, it has to be a beast, so I can't actually make you into a human. But I guess I could turn you into a small animal, or we can try to see if we can hide you with the disguise. We could try to see if, like, maybe your wing, you can fold your wings up a bit, right?
Yeah, she still has like a pretty decent wingspan, though.
Okay. I think combined with, I guess we don't have Pass Without a Trace anymore.
I can cast it again.
Well, you've already cast like a bazillion spells at this point.
Nico, I think it might be a better idea to turn her into an animal, just so she's easier to hide.
Okay. So Draco will walk up to Akiri and say, so I can only turn you into an animal. And so I believe for the purpose of hiding you, it would make sense to turn you into something small. Does that make sense?
Yeah, fine. I don't mind.
Okay, any preference? Anything smaller than you is pretty much fair game.
Nope.
Do you want something that can fly?
That would be fun. I wouldn't mind that.
Okay.
Just make her a smaller bird.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. So Draco will
Turn her into an actual pigeon.
he's gonna close his eyes and he's going to focus on Akiri, and then he's going to twirl his staff and poof. And Akiri is now an actual pigeon. I don't know if there are rules for a pigeon in D&D. I guess just use whatever bird you want to use, Max, for comparison, but I've turned Akiri into a pigeon.
There's definitely like a crow stat block somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll use that.
There might be a dove stat block somewhere, too.
Maybe.
Draco will politely ask the newly birded Akiri, may I have the honor of carrying you in my pack? You can't talk. You are a bird.
Like that's any different from normal.
Throw a pigeon in your backpack. That's.
He just kind of opens up his bag.
She's gonna fly in and make herself comfy.
I made sure to keep the curly feathers, though.
Excellent.
And then he's going to turn to the others and say, as for the rest of you, here are the disguises. Taifa, could you maybe hide inside of Frash's pack?
So, yeah, she will attempt to do that, but if she can't, she's going to turn into a poisonous snake. So I don't know, Max, what do you think? So Taifa will climb in his pack. Thrasher, I'm assuming, will put it on over his disguise, and the rest of the team can vote on whether or not this.
I'm really hoping we have like robes, so now he's got a tail, a giant humpback, and like a lizard snout coming out the front.
So he looks like he's probably a pretty decent fast-moving undead.
Sure.
Ella, didn't you have a disguise kit?
Yes, I do.
Do you think maybe you can help disguise Thrasher a little bit better?
What are you gonna paint
Give him a mustache.
Just gonna paint his tail to look like a dick.
Or like the dirt. I don't know.
Or that.
Okay.
Mustache. It's just glue a mustache on the end of his weird face.
I'll let you guys decide how you want to do that. I'm just saying, for everyone else, I've given disguises. You all have your pyramid garb now.
So you now are wearing masks and dark robes of the Gravekeepers of the Pyramid of Ushzak. So you all look like that.
Awesome. You look cool. Except for Akiri, she looks like a bird, and Taifa, she just looks like herself.
Makes sense. All right, so while we're in here, sorry, the kid is doing parkour. While we're in here, I am going to cast a spell that I just learned and concentrate on it, which is locate creature. So I can concentrate on this for an hour, and as long as the creature is within 1,000 feet of me, unless they are separated from me by 10 feet of running water, which is weirdly specific. And I am going to concentrate on this for an hour to see if I detect my father anywhere.
Okay. Upon initial casting, you do not.
All right, no problem.
Wow. All right then. Masks and costumes and weapons, obviously unpeace bonded. Spells cast and concentrated on. Nico, you're concentrating on polymorph?
I am. For an hour. So we have an hour of Akiri being a tiny pigeon.
All of that now in place. What would you like to do?
Well, I guess we just pick a direction and start walking.
I agree. Do we want to just... I actually have no idea. I'll let you guys decide. Well, okay, Max, can I investigate? I can't think of any reason to. Okay, no, I have an idea. Can I investigate which of the three paths here have the most foot traffic? Maybe dust or dirt from boots, from muddy boots, or scuffs on the floor, or anything like that that might indicate, or maybe are there torches on the walls of one of these corridors, but not all three of them, that might indicate where there's more people going in and out than any other.
Are you proficient in investigation?
I am.
Okay. So you can automatically, without rolling, tell that there are these runes carved into the walls that look like they are shiny from the hand oils of many hands having touched them over many years. And the most foot traffic seems to be on the north and east pathways. The runes, the carvings on the sarcophagi and on the walls seem a little bit newer toward the east as well.
Okay. I will pass that on to the group. It seems like there's more traffic to the north and the east, and in the east, the sarcophagi seem to be a slightly newer condition than the ones to the north.
Draco, Those gold coins are calling your name.
They are? Oh! Yeah, Draco will look at the gold coins and... Okay, do I see anything suspicious about them? Like, it looks like they're coming out of a broken pot, right?
There are 2 urns in this room. They look like offering urns. One of them is broken, and
right.
a number of gold coins have spilled out.
Well, I'm not a religious man, but I feel it's disrespectful to pilfer the tombs of the departed, especially if such has been left for them. So as much as it pains me, I believe I will leave these alone. And it does, you can tell, visibly pain Draco to leave all of that wonderful gold just sitting there.
Right.
If Draco's
Also-
not going to take it, then Vapos is.
As Vapos is doing that, Typha, you are still cleaning some bits of dead Vargui off of you. Redeaded Vargui off of yourself. In fact, from its bite, several of its teeth are embedded in you.
Even now that I shapeshifted back to normal?
I guess they drop out after that, because it didn't actually harm you. But one of those teeth is a gold tooth.
She is so attracted to shiny things that I don't think she even thinks, oh, this was a super gross tooth from a super gross monster. So no, she picks it up.
You pick up the super gross tooth from the super gross monster and find that it is quite oddly shaped. It's like a cone with this complex design on it, like little channels making a little tiny maze. Pretty, but super weird.
Max, a quick question. Do the teeth from that thing still glow?
Yes. They have this unhealthy sort of uranium green glow to them.
If Akiri was still a pigeon, she would have grabbed some. Or sorry, if Akiri was still... She is a pigeon. If Akiri was not as much a pigeon as she is currently, she would be grabbing them. But that's fine. It's okay.
Okay. Including the gold tooth that Typha should make a note of having now.
Yeah, inside of Frasher's pack, she's kind of squeeing and, manipulating it and looking at it. And now she has something to pay attention to in the darkness of this pack.
Okay. Vapos, were you waiting on me to respond to something?
Nope.
Okay.
Could I do something?
Yeah.
Draco is going to see. This is a long shot, but I have this ability, so I'm going to use it. Gosh darn it! He's going to see this here urn that's not broken, and he's going to walk over to this here urn that's not broken, and he's going to give it a nice little tap with his staff, and ask it which direction to where prisoners are held.
The urn responds and says, what does an urn sound like? Hollow, right?
It's full of dead or of money, apparently.
Some pass and do not leave an offering taken downward through paths untreaded. Now you have slain the one that was beheaded.
Draco will. Everyone else can hear that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it sounds like sometimes people are taken down south that don't come back, or that don't. I'm sorry, that don't leave an offering. So perhaps that could be the direction we need to go.
That's a reasonable guess. I suppose that's. Well, no. All right. Can I do a investigate check to see if I see any of the symbols that Captain Sutherland told me that he had left in the passages?
You look round. You are proficient in investigation?
Yes.
Okay. Without rolling, you can see that they are not present here.
All right, cool. In that case, that's the only clue that we really have. So I'm in favor of going south until we see something better.
Cool, let's go then.
How much gold did Vapos pick up, by the way?
Vapos picked up this gold?
Yep.
Exactly 99 pieces of gold.
Cool.
Picking them out of the potsherds. The gang of you, disguised as masked gravekeepers, are heading down the southern passage, so go ahead and move your tokens if that's what you're doing. And, find this somewhat eerie room.
What's creepy about skeleton jacuzzis?
Is that like a totally normal sailboat or rowboat that's just sitting in the middle?
It's painted white.
Totally normal for your rowboat in this sort of room.
Thank you, Max. I need that close up to fully appreciate the rowboat.
There are four pools of water in this chamber. As you pass in, you are able to see carved into the ceiling of the doorway into this room, or the lintel of the doorway into this room. You can see some words in Old Vae, in Vae Common. It says, Chamber of the Four Old Port Siblings. In this chamber there are four pools. The walls are lined with sarcophagi. In each of the pools is a skeleton. Next to one side of the pools are these very large levers. One made of gold, one of bronze, one of silver, and one of steel. In the center of the room, there is a large block of white marble shaped as an octagon. It is kind of raised up, like a step, kind of, above where you're standing. And in the middle of that, resting on top of that block of marble, is a somewhat weather-worn rowboat painted white.
Guys, I think we've stumbled upon the containment room of an SCP. No one touched that boat.
SCP?
Hey, Max, you said what? Could you one more time tell me the metals of the levers?
One is gold, one is bronze, one is silver, and one is steel.
Okay. Draco's mind immediately went to this might be related to dragons until you said steel, and then he's like, oh wait, maybe not. This on the right side here, is this just another tomb, or does it look like a sealed doorway?
It's a tomb. It's a sarcophagus with no lid.
Okay. The ones who... I apologize if you already said this, I might have zoned out, but has anyone read what the VA comment says?
I'll come in and read it.
I'll look and read it, right?
So over the doorway into this room, it says Chamber of the Four Old Port Siblings. And then over each pool, carved into the side of the white block of marble, there's more old common. Vague common. And if you go to read that, from your current angle, you can read that this one says Herbert Oldport. This one says Nicolette Oldport.
Max, could I do like a history check to see if any of these names, either the name that's on the above the doorway or the name of those two people, if I happen to know who they are?
Yeah, you can make a history check.
19.
Okay. The Oldport family is one of the most prominent families in Westhead. Let me open up my folder. They are thus called because they kind of ruled the Thunder Gulf, and by the strength of the port out of Westhead. The Thunder Gulf being the Western Sea, on the side of the western side of the Wildlands map. They lost power sometime in the past. They were kind of they had already lost power by the time that the rebellion against the Vae Empire occurred. But what power they still had, or what major influence they still had, was kind of lost along with the De La Fontaine families Great Fall, the de La Fontaine being the royal family of West Head.
Okay, Draco will share all of this with the group, and then he'll say, I'm not sure how they relate to this to this room in particular, but perhaps, just as a suggestion, perhaps we're supposed to pull the levers in an order of value from greatest to least, in which case it would be gold, silver, bronze, and steel. But I don't know, that's just a suggestion.
Can I take a look at what this silver thing is over here?
This one, that one, okay. That is an urn.
Okay. And does it have a name on it?
It says Old Port on the side of the urn.
What about the other two parts of the octagon that have names on them?
These two? They have names on them as well. They are Alistair Oldport and Eve Oldport.
So we have Nicolette, Alistair, Eve, and Hubert, did you say was the first one?
Herbert.
Oh, wow, I can't believe I almost got that.
Wait, Herbert, Nicolette, Alistair, and Eve, right? Yeah.
Okay. Do I happen to know the specifics of who those people are? Like, were they siblings? Was one the father, or the mother, or what's the... Do I know the history of the family in regards to these four?
Oh man, you are starting to realize that this tomb must be very old. From the heyday of the Oldport family. So this has probably been here for centuries. They were great captains of the sea and mighty builders of the port of West Head. They brought the Old Port family to their height of influence and power. Part of what made West Head a metropolis.
Interesting. Do you think, friends, do you think it might be wise if perhaps Frasher used his gift to move things from a distance to pull one of these levers from the other room so we can make sure that nothing nasty happens to us? Just so we can see what happens?
It could. It occurs to me that maybe it's nice to meet you too. I don't know why we're practicing our introductions right now, but apparently that's happening. I wonder. The first thing that comes to mind is I wonder if there's some significance in the initials here. And if we could somehow figure out that significance, if that might tell us what the order is.
Oh, okay. So it would be H. It was Northport, right? Is their name? Or Oldport?
Oldport.
So HONOEO and I'm forgetting one because it's Eve, Herbert, Nicolette, and Alistair. So AOEOHO and Hubert NO. We don't pull the one for Nicolette because it spells no.
Don't pull the one for Herbert because it says ho.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah. And so we've got EONOHO and AO. You write that down.
What are the periodic table abbreviations for all of these elements. Or no, steel isn't an element, it's an alloy. Okay, never mind.
So, poking her head out of Frasher's sack and seeing this gold lever, she's now looking even more closely at her little gold tooth. Does there seem to be any... She's looking at the intricacies of the gold tooth.
They look to be slightly different colors of gold. The gold tooth is more of a white gold. This is a quite yellow gold.
Jacob's going to take a risk here. He is going to pop up on the pedestal, and he's going to
As
sit.
you attempt to do so,
Okay.
you feel a force pushing back against you with absolutely zero give.
Interesting.
It's like
Can I-
you try to step. You guys all watch as Draco attempts to step up onto the white marble dais, and his nose goes flat. And
Can I-
You are,
Oh, go ahead.
You know, you bump backward. You just walked into a wall that you cannot see.
Okay. So I can't. All right, team. Update. Cannot sit on the boat.
I won't make you take 1 point of damage because that would trigger a concentration roll.
Thank you. Also, I believe you said that it's a few feet up, so he wouldn't have just slammed into it. He would have put his hand up to try and get up there, and then like punk.
Would you guys like to check for traps?
Okay. Before we pull any levers and stuff, Draco will check for traps.
Okay. Where are you going to check?
I would like to check the. I'd like to check the walls. I'd like to check the sarcophagi, if that's how you say sarcophagus. The what?
Check the levers.
Well, yeah, yes, and I would also like to check the levers to see if they seem to be connected to any other mechanisms in a very obvious way. Like, is there any, I don't know, machinery that seems to connect to anything? And I would also like to check the pools of water to see if there's anything there.
Okay. I
Oh.
will roll it in secret. That will take Draco quite a bit of time in order to check all of those things. What is he checking first?
He will start with the levers, since that seems to be the most obvious thing.
Okay, which lever is he checking first?
He'll start with the gold one.
Okay. So you examine the gold lever. Look at it closely. What's your bonus to investigation?
7.
You look it over carefully. You don't see any traps. Seems to be just a gilded lever.
Okay, I'll move on to the silver one.
What it might do, you don't know. What are the rest of you doing while this is happening? Nice to meet you too, daughter.
Well, I guess I'd like to go around and take a closer look at all of the sarcophagi and kind of pick up on any other writing that might be in this room.
Okay, cool. Roll an investigation check. Draco, on this lever. What's that? You missed me? Okay. On this one, you find that the steel lever is scorched and discolored along one side. You suspect that there is a trap here. Some kind of flame? How strange.
Draco will, anytime Draco finds any trap or something like, or evidence of a trap, Draco will alert the group. So everyone beware the silver lever. And he will, once he's investigated it to his heart's content, he will move to the steel one.
Okay. Bella, you are going around the room, and you are able to determine from the writing on these sarcophagi, they are likely lesser scions, lesser descendants among the Old Port family.
All right, cool.
Who have been buried here at progressively more recent times.
What's strange to me, friends, is that the most prominent members of the family seem to be kept in such, well, unconventional tombs. You'd think they'd want something with a covering at the very least.
And yet, which person goes with which metal again?
Steele and Herbert, Gold and Nicolette. Oh wait, I got those swapped. Sorry.
Golden Herbert, Steele and Nicolette.
Golden Herbert, Steele and Nicolette. Alistair and Silver, and Bronze with Eve. Draco, you find markings on the silver lever. That have a different kind of marking on them that looks like they've been it's been damaged somehow. Kind of this almost dendritic pattern to these burn marks.
I actually don't know what that word means.
Like roots or lightning.
Okay. Okay, Draco will say to the others, this also seems to have a trap. This one seems to be electrical in nature.
You don't discover any other traps on the levers.
Not even the bronze one?
Well, you go and check it and you don't find anything.
Okay. So the only ones that seem to have any traps associated are silver and steel.
So Frasher's tail is happy with your discovery. Hey, Legend X... that's obviously a 16. Legend 16. Wildlands your favorite setting? Well, I invented it. But it's my current favorite, yeah. Welcome, Legend, to the stream. I hope you have some fun. Hang out for a while.
What was that about Frasher's tail?
I was just referencing that she painted it to look like a dick.
Oh, right. Is there anything interesting about the water that's in these pits?
You go and look at the water, and you feel a strong thirst coming over you.
Oh, yeah.
And the water is indeed strange. And there's a feeling in your gut, a feeling as you bend down to smell it. Which pool are you looking at?
It's the one I'm right next to. So
Okay.
the gold.
You can kind of smell on the air this sharp, almost unpleasantly strong citrusy scent. This acidic, acrid smell as you get real down close to it. This water is mixed with something. And you thirst for its power, and you feel this outside mind directing you, feeling that feeling through you.
Can I make some kind of save to resist it, or is it?
It's not controlling you.
It's not that strong.
I mean, Frasher is smart enough to, he's not smart, but he is smart enough to know that that might not be a good thing to drink. It's kind of like getting differing inputs. The way I described it would make it something you would not want to drink. It does not sound tasty, but there's also this thirst that's like this outside, not coming from you, feeling, this emotion that of thirst. Not really for drinking it, although that's kind of how Frasher feels it. But
yeah, he sort of maps that feeling.
For the power in it.
He's gonna summon his pact weapon as a longsword or something that has like a little bit of length to it, and kind of stick that in and see if it does anything.
It makes you feel uncomfortable. Tingly. Especially when you draw it out of the water and you touch it on your packed weapon.
Well, Fletcher doesn't like feeling uncomfortable or tingly, so he's gonna leave that alone.
The fine details on the bow. It's a bone bow, right?
So he can summon it as different things.
I know.
So,
what is it this time?
Like a longsword.
Okay, the longsword comes decorated, of course, with symbols of the Merc.
Mm-hmm.
Those blur and shift where the water has touched them.
Well, he really doesn't like that, so he's gonna let go of packed weapon and it disappears.
Okay.
Excuse me, Frasher, right? I'm curious. What did you see there? It seemed a bit odd the way that you summoned your weapon and then immediately dispelled it.
It smells bad, and it's kind of tingly. I don't like it.
Very well. I'm not sure how much time we should be spending in this room if we don't think that there's going to be a clear path to reaching Bella's father.
Okay.
Perhaps we should try to...
That Thrasher just turns and starts walking away out the door as you're still talking to him.
Right. Okay. I was more referring to everyone else. Should we either try to start doing some experimenting, or should we explore other parts of this ruin?
Perhaps some experimenting, and if we can't get very far, then exploration. I'm just worried about the nature of the trap, really. But I have to admit I'm curious.
Again, I suggest that perhaps we leave the room and have Thrasher use his Mage Hand spell to pull the levers from outside the room.
Hey, Bella.
Sure. Yeah?
Just a quick interruption. Do you remember that first dungeon we were in, and the water, and the not water that looked like water but was actually ether?
Yes, I do. That room and this room are pretty similar, but that room was from the VA Empire, though, wasn't it?
That's true, but it still could. But like, why would they? Someone mentioned earlier, just like, why would they leave them out like that? So if it's magic water, I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
I apologize, but I'm not quite following this conversation. What is this aether water you're referring to?
Especially since half the conversation is just cooing.
It was mostly out of character to.
Oh, right.
When we were first adventuring together, we found this very, very, very old temple from the empire before the Day Empire. And in there were some pools that were similar in quality to this one. At least on initial investigation, that were filled with liquid ether rather than water as it first appeared. And that was partially a trap and partially a portal and partially a bunch of other magical effects that I'm not sure I completely understood.
Did it smell like bad fruit?
No.
Does
this smell like bad fruit?
Yeah.
Max, at the mention of that, can I look into the water and see if I can tell if it has magical properties, given that I'm a wizard?
From where Draco's standing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm nearby one pool. He can move around and kind of look at this one.
Okay, make an Arcana check.
$22.
I don't know what you just wrote to me, Bella. Okay. You look down into that water, and you start looking, sensing the mystical energies with your wizard training. And, you find that it indeed is mixed with something, though it's different than what Frasher has been describing.
Okay, then if that's the case, Draco would like to check all 4 pools to see if they give him a different effect each time.
Yes, some different alchemical substance is mixed into each pool.
Okay, Draco will share that with the group. I don't know exactly what it is, what each with what is being mixed in with each pool, but I can tell that they're all different.
Would the survival skill give Frasher any understanding of acids? Because I, the player, think that the pool he was interacting with was probably acidic, but...
Right, what about it?
Like, does Frasher know what an acid is? Like, would he have encountered acid before? I don't know if survival...
In the swamp, probably.
Bella, do you want to bring this up with the rest of the group, or can we get off of the secret messages?
Yeah, I guess I will. I'll tell people that the name of the boat is the Vargos, apparently. So, which is the name of the big shipwreck that's outside of West Head. So it looks like this is an escape boat from the Vargos, but I don't know if I know what to do with that information.
And you just
Why would you name a ship? He can't answer.
You
Right.
you rolled a knowledge history and got a 20.
Yes. So, yeah.
In the remorseless waters of the bleak, cold Thunder Gulf lies the vast wreckage of the Vargos, a huge ship potentially lost during a freak storm thousands of years ago. She's not in what you'd call a good shape. There are gaping holes all along the hull, and the ribs of the boat stand like the ribs of a giant creature, turned to stone, or with the salinity, perhaps, of the sea over many, many, maybe millions of years. She belongs to the salty waters now, and they're far from kind. The Vargos is a most macabre sight from afar, like a wound unwilling and unable to heal. She's barely standing upright, with masts and pieces stretching at crazy angles in all directions. Built along the deck and leaning against the broken hull is a shanty town, because that's how big this shipwreck is.
But I don't know if that would give us any insight into these metals.
You would know that historically, boats belonging to a ship that are like rowboats don't have their own name. They would just be labeled with the name of the ship that they belong to.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it looks like this was probably an escape dinghy from the wreck of the Vargos. Perhaps these people failed to escape, or perhaps they escaped and this was buried with them because it was a significant event in their life that they survived it. But regardless, I'm trying to think of how that information connects to this series of levers.
Well, my friends, if my time as an investigator has taught me anything, it's that sometimes you just got to pull levers and see what happens. So I'm willing to start pulling the two levers that had no visible trap marks and see if that causes any effect. And hopefully I won't. But I do request that I be the only one in here to do it, as if there are traps, they might affect the whole room, and I wouldn't want any of you to get hurt for no reason.
You don't want me to use magic hand?
It might be hard for you to see all of them from the other room since there's only one little doorway. I don't know. Maybe. Max, does it make sense if Frasher could, in the doorway, just go ahead and use Mage Hand to pull all 4 levers? Or are some of them would be out of visibility? I feel like he could see all of them.
Well, he could only pull them one at a time.
Yes, and I would only want to pull them one at a time. I would just as so that we can start experimenting with the puzzle to try and figure it out.
Oh, yes, that does look possible.
Okay, then I'm going to again suggest that we let Frasher pull the levers one by one and see what happens.
While he's doing that, can I try one quick thing?
Sure.
You're a tiny snake.
I'm not a tiny
Frasher's
snake. I
backpack,
thought I
aren't you?
was my little kobold self in your pack.
Oh, did we not make you a snake? Sorry.
I don't think so. She's just going to attempt to use shape water to manipulate this and see if it even is water.
That's a good idea.
Can we use shape water to like distill water? Just like pick up the water and leave all the not water?
What
I think it would be like purified water.
What counts as not water? Can you like bend orange juice?
Is shape water a cantrip?
Yeah.
Shape water is a cantrip, yeah.
She can. She can move the water around, but it just kind of sloshes back and forth in there.
Okay.
I guess it would tell her that there's more water than is visible. Like there are pipes.
Interesting. Okay. Is the water murky or is it clear?
It's a little murky.
Okay. Well, she will use shape water to change the opacity to clear. Thank you, shape water. I get so much mileage out of shape water.
Okay.
Can we see the skeletons that are in there too? I assume so, because they're on the map.
Yes.
Okay.
The skeleton moves a little bit as she sloshes the water back and forth.
Max, can I do something?
Sure.
Okay. As we're all trying to figure out what to do, a rift in space-time opens up in the fabric of reality. Okay. And you guys see the spirit of a wood elf cleric come through the veil and possess Draco temporarily. And Draco runs over and pulls the gold lever.
Neat.
The rift?
That's unique.
Okay.
He's talking about Bryn.
So confused.
I don't know what you're talking about, Corey. I got possessed by some random space elf.
This is the gold one?
Yes, I'm pulling the gold one. It was one of the ones that wasn't, didn't have anything that looked like a trap. The spirit of Brit compels you.
Okay, cool. So there's this sound like this sort of hollow noise, like and you hear the water kind of slam into something under the stone down here, under the floor, and you can feel it. And then there's this sound and something, this sort of wet valve sound under the floor, and something gets squirted into this water from a valve that opens in the side of the tub. And then it erupts in a burst of acid that pretty much fills the room. Poof. So Draco and Akiri and Vapos and Frasher and Bella, all of you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Pressure was kind of in the doorway, right? Like, how far into the hallway does it go?
Oh, that was a 1. Oh, shit.
I'm okay.
So you can see.
Or ignore the second roll. My computer was being stupid.
Taifa, did you get out of my backpack?
In your backpack, but I don't think your backpack's gonna save me.
Yeah, but like, would it really hit her if she's behind Frasher?
I was gonna ask the same question about Akiri. Can they get like advantage since they're in bags?
No. Besides, Akiri has 1 HP, so it's not really going to make a difference. Akiri's bird form. You are going to take damage, acid damage. Now, Frasher is going to take half. Now, this acid gas does 4 points of damage to all of you, except for Frasher. It does 2. Oh, and
what about me?
Draco takes only 2. You know what? With your nat 20, you didn't have to make a concentration save, but it's gonna get her anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, do I fail with an 18?
Oh no, sorry, I didn't see that. The DC is 15, so if you got higher than that, you take half. Now, this it sort of swirls. Okay, it kind of swooshes around, like this. It goes. You can see the water and the gas kind of goes, and then there's this sound like, and you can kind of feel the vibration of something like the water slamming into something.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying that gas came out of this pool,
Yeah,
and then
something was injected in the pool, and this gas bubbled and erupted out of the pool, filling
and
the
then
room
it
with gas.
this.
And it swirled like that, yeah. And then stopped. And you see the skeletons in the pools get moved by the current and slammed into the side. Their limbs kind of scattering around. Then the gas dissipates.
I did not pay enough attention in chemistry to solve this problem.
I'm wondering. So, well, okay. I guess we have to figure, I guess Akiri is about to turn
Akiri
back into
erupts
herself.
out of your backpack.
Does the backpack explode with feathers?
Sure.
She comes out coughing, just like, what the heck?
Draco will just face palm and be like, okay, here, take this disguise and try to cover up as much as possible. Because that was my only fourth level spell slot, so sorry, can't do it again.
Okay,
Draco will go ahead.
So it sounds to me like there's something. We have to pull these in a specific order because there was something that was blocked when we pulled it. So some type of something began to flow, and presumably we need all of whatever is in this pool in order for it not to back up and cause problems. Like, you all heard that, right? That it sounded like the water flow was like slamming into something that was closed?
Yes. I wonder if because the acid gas seemed to move in the direction of the bronze lever, if that was the one we were supposed to pull. That's an indicator that that's the flow of the water. I apologize for my brash decision. I don't know what came over me. Some force overwhelmed me. I think it would make sense again if we would leave the room and just let Frasher pull the levers with Mage Hand.
Yes, I have been waiting to do that.
Draco's
Vapos will leave the room.
Yeah, Draco's gonna leave the room.
All right.
Can Mavra back up a little bit so Thrasher can stand a little bit further back in the door?
Kiri, are you moving out too?
I'm assuming Bella
Yes.
is.
Okay, Draco will say, all right, Frasher, this time try the bronze lever.
Bronze lever's too far away.
Oh. Shoot. Okay. Well, we're all out of the room now, I guess.
So it is.
All right, Draco is going to say, all right, I was the idiot who got us hurt the first time. I'll just go in there and pull it myself. So Draco is...
With respect, I think I should be the one to pull the lever. If it's another acid gas thing, those sorts of effects do not affect me quite so strongly.
That makes sense, but if you recall from the other two levers, they have marks of fire and lightning. So, well, I suppose if you have resistance to one effect, then it makes sense to have you do it, because I don't think any of us are resistant to fire or lightning, are we?
I
Not that I
have
know.
thorn whips. I could whip it.
Can you whip it from across the door?
I'd have to be here.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Typha, but the effect affects the whole room. So I think Vapos is right. He should be the one to do it. Because even if you have to stand away from the lever and you pull it and it affects the whole room, you'll still get hit.
What if I stand here?
The
Stands
cast.
on top of...
Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but the gas affected the entire room. So
Okay.
I think it's best if just one of us is in the room at a time. And then when he's the only one in the room, Vapos will flip the bronze lever.
Okay. As you do so, there is again this kind of that occurs, and something is injected into a valve, via a valve, injected into the pool. But this time, as you flip the lever, Jesus, is it a token? Why can I not? Oh, it's because I'm not this, right? As that occurs, the rush of the flow goes the other way. And then ka-chunk! And you hear it hit something in here, under the floor, right there. This skeleton gets shoved to that side of the pool. As the current moves it. And then the room, you trigger a trap. Click. Flipping the lever, as something's injected into that water, there's this blast of freezing gas that bursts out of the pool of water and also kind of flows partway in that opposite swirl direction. And you take cold damage. Make a Constitution saving throw.
That's failed.
Alright, you take 5 cold damage.
Okay. As I do, I'm going to say, I believe that I have figured this out. Give me just a moment.
If you say so.
Yeah, and then yes, Vapos is going to go over to this is the silver one, right?
Yeah.
He's going to flip the silver switch.
Undeterred, Vapos flips to silver switch. Okay. A similar set of actions occurs. This skeleton flows again in the direction that you just flipped it. There's this rush. And it goes like this, and then like this. And you hear it get stopped here. And it goes rushing all the way around, and you trigger another trap. This time, it seems to have generated lightning arcs through the room. So you're going to need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Succeeded this time.
You'll take 5 points of damage, halved by your save.
So 2 points.
So 2 points. And this skeleton gets slammed over here by the current. And this one also slammed over here, disturbed from its resting place leaning against the wall.
Alright, then finally, Vapos is going to go back to the bronze one, and he's going to flip it one more time.
Okay.
It occurs if you had left the other one as it was, we could have flipped the other two using Mage Hand.
You're probably right, but this is what Vapos thought of, and so he was
It's
doing
fine.
Chunk. Okay, this time the flow is not stopped. The water begins rushing around and around and around, and so does the air, filled with, again, this cold, frosty blast. So you gotta make one more save. You take half of 5 for 2 frost damage.
I failed that save.
And the air whirls around and around, and so does the water. And it starts to form this vortex. Around and around and around, squinting in the frosty blast. You see that the skeletons, after being initially slammed to the side by the current, animate and stand up in their pools and speak out with an eerie single voice as their skulls rise above their pools. And they say, in Vae Common, our secrets of the sea are yours. Take the key of the Vargos and find them. And then there's this sound, like something being peeled, kind of like when you peel the plastic off of a new computer screen, a new monitor screen or something, and you can see this sparkling light in the same direction with the wind, as though the wind is peeling something away from around the octagonal dais. And you can see now as the spell powers down, the wind dies down as well. And suddenly the wind, or as the wind is dying down, it first picks up the boat and spins it around in the air before it once again comes to rest. And you are will now find that the frost, the snowflakes that have formed in the air, are now able to blow freely in and on and off the dais. Now, one more thing happens as this roar of wind dies down. Mavra and Bref both go, as somebody walks down this hallway. Excuse me. What is going on here, fellow gravekeepers? And with that, we are going to end tonight's session. Thank you all so very, very much for playing. That was a huge amount of fun. I already can't wait for next session. It's going to be another awesome one. This is a fun dungeon, I think. Well played, everybody.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was great.
Good job, team. This was great.
Gained a lifeboat.
Good job. And the old port secrets of the sea. So, apparently. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching. The man with no screen name. Legend who came by. Legend16. Awesome. Welcome to the channel. IOG. Thank you for coming by. When Mops Attack, thanks for hanging out, man. And a huge thank you to Nacho Pants, who not only subscribed, as When Mops did and Taladar did, Taladar, thank you for coming by earlier, as well as Frequency, who also, Taladar also subscribed, but Nacho Pants donated, like, 11 subs, 10 subs. Thank you, Nacho Pants. That is super awesome. What a way to support the channel. That is super duper appreciated. This one is going to go down in infamy as a truly epic session. All right. I think that's it. So, first of all, I don't know if she can hear me, but a huge thank you to Kate for taking care of the little goblin who was seen on stream at one point, or several points, and made my cell phone better with her crayon, her yellow crayon. Thank you to M, player of Akiri. Thank you to Nico, player of Draco. Thank you to Corey, player of Vapos. Thank you to Matt, player of Frasher. And thank you to Lindsay, player of Typha III. Y'all are super awesome, great players. Thank you so much for engaging in all of these shenanigans. Well done, well played. I will see you in Discord chat. And for anyone else out there who feel free to join the Super Commoner Discord. We have a lot of fun, and I think another Commoner's Conundrum may be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So that will be a fun thing to engage in as well. All right, without any further ado, thank you all very much. Good night. Hopefully I'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, Max. This was awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Max.
All right, bye-bye.